What's up, YouTube? So I gotta ask George Duke's peak and prime. If you were into jazz, funk, R&B, pop, the whole nine, gospel, wherever you want to put it in the gumbo, rock, pop too. Because if you know about George Duke, you know about him and Frank Zappa's band. Well, late 70s is when he hit his peak and his prime as far as the Reach For It and Dookie Stick and Brazilian Love Affair and all that. He hit big. And then, of course, early 80s producing albums for Jeffrey Osborne, Taste of Honey, Denise Williams. He was had his fingers in a lot of pies, and of course his collaborations with Stanley Clark, which he became a crooner. So he had yacht rock add to the list. It was a credible, versatile talent, tons of session work, work with a who's who, uh, played keyboards on Don't Stop to Get Enough for Michael Jackson, worked with Miles Davis, was involved with a lot of stuff. Credits galore. But if I'm asked about his peak prime, I gotta say probably about want to say about 77 to probably about, I want to say to about mm, 84, 85, about 84. Because he did produce Let's Hear It for the Boy. And he did a lot of different things that you would not associate because he had a distinctive sound and he had a musical vocabulary that allowed him to literally reach for it. So looking back at his work as a producer, as a writer, as a arranger, there's a lot of totality there that just showcases a man that had no limits, and he really put so many things into perspective. It's amazing, when I think about it. And he was a late bloomer to a late comer to the funk and to the crossover because he didn't really. When you listen to the stuff he played with Frank Zappa, it doesn't sound anything like what he ended up doing years later when he worked with Jeffrey Osborne. I don't really need no light to see his stylings, his vibe had changed. It was like a 360-degree flip. That's what artists used to be able to do back in the day before everything got, you know, hood lies where you got stuck and you were put in, and it was bags back then, don't get it twisted. But if you could play and you could sustain, your stuff went all over and you could, so he understood that as a musician. He didn't have no limits where that's concerned. Um, he did different projects, I've listened. Matter of fact, I'll give you an example. I was watching this movie called The Heavenly Kid. It was a corny movie. It was somewhere between uh Back to the Future and Grease, and also one of them James Dean movies. And the cat was like a triple junior whopper, broke John Travolta with a Fonzie jacket on, but it was the soundtrack. And so I was listening to the songs because he did the music. And so his score, you could tell George Duke because I knew his playing and the songs involved. But he was able to do projects, crossover, do so many different things that you can imagine. And his musicality was deep. I mean, the cat could flat out play. And but I think that in terms of the commercial pop situation, R&B, where he hit like on that, 77, 78 to about 84, 85. He worked with Shalimar too, and he had just had really just hit at that particular window the commercial aspect of it. For the people in the know, they had already loved him and they knew he was bad. But on the commercial side, it took the Reach For It and Dookie Stick and Sweet Baby and Shine and things like that. They got him a different audience. But he was more than down for the challenge. You know, he definitely could flat out produce and bring it. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. And please give me your thoughts and takes on George Duke, his peak and his prime. Please like, subscribe, comment. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.